we continue the running commentary with comment 172, which regards Surah 27, 59 through 93. Allah's goodness and mercy are manifest through all nature and in the heart and consciousness of man. He alone knows all our knowledge, can at best be partial. Yet, we can travel through space and time and see how evil never prospered. Allah teaches us good, but how can we see if we make ourselves blind? At the end of all things shall we know how small is our state. But for Allah's grace, let us bow to His will and accept His true guidance. Let us praise Him and trust Him now and forever. Comment 173 regarding Surah 28, 1 through 42. Allah's messengers are men and win through good life by Allah's grace and their faith. So Moses was saved from the tyrant's wrath in infancy and reared in the tyrant's own den, but gently in a mother's love. In youth was he endowed with wisdom and knowledge, strength and the will to do right. When sorrow or misfortune, he trusted on Allah and opened his heart to Him. On self-imposed exile, he won love by his chivalry and confidence by truth. In his mission, he triumphed over arrogant wrong by his meekness, patience, and faith. So good follows good, and evil must fall, cursed, loathed, disgraced, and despised. 174 regarding ayat 43 to rumbling the template to 60. As with Moses, so with the Prophet Muhammad, a revelation was given to him by which he knew and understood and led men and was kind. He was a mercy to men, sent by Allah, so warn those in sin, and by precept and example, to bring the light to the very doors. Those who had spiritual eyes rejoiced and walked in Allah's ancient way, now reopened, valuing the things of the Spirit as Allah's own gifts, to be their possession forever. And let us remember that we're using the gender neutral here. Let me see, comment 175 regarding ayat 61 to 75. Material good is nothing compared to the spiritual. In the hereafter, no plea that others misled will avail. Each soul must answer for itself, whether it is honored Allah alone or worshipped something else, and whether it is received or rejected the teachers sent by Allah. Whether it received or rejected the teachers sent by Allah. The wisdom and plan of Allah are beyond all praise, and mercy and truth proceed from Him, and there is no other, none besides Him. Comment 176 regarding ayat 76 through 88. Men are puffed up with wealth, like Qarun, are not pleasing, so Allah. For wealth is for service, not for hoarding our show. In the midst of his pride was Qarun, swallowed up in the earth, and the earth knew him no more. It is the righteous that attain a happy end. Let nothing keep your eyes back from that end. Then, and only then, shall you reach the eternal reality, the glorious reality, which is Allah, who endureth forever. And comment 176 regarding Surah 177 regarding ayat 1 through 27. Faith must be tested in the conflicts of practical life, but good can never be submerged. On the contrary, Allah will wash off all stains from those who strive and admit them into the fellowship of the righteous. Not so are the hypocrites and those who reject faith. Their hearts are diseased, and they will not accept the right, though a Noah preached it to them for 1,000 years, or an Abraham reasoned with them on Allah's most wonderful providence. But the truth will ever search out the truth, and the truth will always prevail. Now, the Chinese say that this guy outlived his grandchildren, and he was 256 when he died. He died like within the last decade or something like that. And genetic testing was supposed to have proven that, so the lifespan's longer than we think. There was a guy in, also, another guy, a guy like 141 or 142, that likewise was said about him, so we don't know the actual life, but there's a symbolic reference. A symbolic reference in that whole thing, that Noah wasn't immortal. Well, there's other symbolic references. Comment 178 regarding ayat 28 through 44. Worldly power cannot, through sin, defy the right, as was proved in the ministry of Lut. Nor can intelligence, misused, stand in the place of Allah's light, nor can boastful insolence do aught but dig its own grave. The strength and skill and beauty and power of this world's life are no more than a spider's web, flimsy before the force of the eternal. Verities that flow from Allah Supreme. Comment 179 regarding ayat 45 through 69. Proclaim the message of Allah and pray to Him for purity and guidance. Allah's revelation carries its own proofs and is recognized by men of wisdom. Its rejectors but lose their own chances of profiting by the truth and attaining the paths that lead to Allah's own gracious presence. And comment 180 regarding Surah 30, ayat 1 through 19. Great empires rise and fall, conquer, and are conquered, as happened to Rome and Persia. But the true decision is with Allah, who will make the righteous rejoice. Men may see but the outward crust of things, but in truth the end of things is all in all. In His own good time, He will separate good from evil. Praise and glory to Him forever. Comment 181 regarding ayat 20 through 40. Allah's signs are many, and so are his mysteries, yet each does point to his unity, goodness, power, and mercy. There is none like unto him. His teaching is one, and men that split up his standard religion are but following their own lusts. Ungrateful are they to give part worship to others, when all worship and praise and glory are due to him and him alone, in whom we have our life and being. Comment 182 regarding ayat 41 through 60. The result of evil is evil. So mischief spreads, but Allah will resume the balance in the end. He did create all things pure, and will purge and purify, as he does the physical world with winds. Destruction awaits those that break his harmony and law. It will come when least expected. Let the righteous wait and endure with constancy, for evil is shaky, with no faith in itself and no roots, and is doomed to perish utterly. Comment 183 regarding Surah 31. Okay, there's an appendix in the way here. Well, not in the way, but I have to... Oh, another appendix, 183, regarding ayat 1 through 19 of Surah 31. What is the Book of Wisdom? It is a guide and a mercy to men, and teaches them how to attain bliss. Allah's mercies are infinite. How can man deny them? Luqman, the wise, taught grateful worship of the one true God and the service of men, beginning with parents. Every good deed is known to Allah and is brought to account. So walk in the golden mean and serve him with constancy and firmness of purpose. Comment 184 regarding ayat 20 through 34. True wisdom sees Allah's boundless bounties to man, and how all nature's made to serve man's ends. It is due from us to know our place, discern the limits of our knowledge, and see how far above us is Allah's wisdom and his law. Let us not deceive ourselves. The end of all things will come, but the when and the how are known to Allah alone, to whom be all praise. Comment 184. Comment 185 regarding Surah 32, ayat 1 through 30. How can unbelievers realize the mystery of revelation? They do not even see the marvel and mystery of time and Allah's creation, and how they were themselves created. If they could but see how the end will shape itself, how the good will be sorted out from evil. The two are not equal in goal. Clear are the signs and the revelation of Allah in nature, history, and the message of his living prophets. If they learn not, now, alas, it will be too late when time's wings are furled. Comment 186 regarding Surah 33, ayat 1 through 8. The issue of all things depends on the law alone. We must put our trust on him as the guardian of all things, both great and small. Call things by their right names. If false relationships, by custom or superstition, do harm to men or women, shun them. The spiritual guide is more than father. The ladies of his household are mothers. To the believers in rank, dignity, and duty, the guide will have to give an account in the hereafter, and how the truth was received which he was charged to proclaim to men. Comment 187 regarding ayat 9 through 27. When the formidable forces of a whole confederacy bent on destroying Islam burst upon Medina, it was Allah's grace that saved the Muslims. The enemies and the hypocrites did their best to defeat the purpose of Allah, but they were foiled. In the Prophet was found the ideal leader for the men of God, who became heirs to the heritage misused by enemies to faith and the laws of Allah. Comment 188 regarding ayat 28 through 52. The Prophet's household is not for worldly ends. His consorts have a place and dignity beyond ordinary women. They must recite and proclaim the signs of Allah. For women have spiritual virtues and duties like unto men. Allah decrees no unhappy wedlock. Fear not to dissolve such, and provide what is right and fitting for the service of Allah. High is the Prophet's positions, and he must order his household as best befits his work and duties. Allah doth watch all things. Comment 189. Regarding ayat 53 to 73. Believers should cultivate refined respect in social and spiritual life, and the mothers of the faithful have to uphold their dignity. So should all women protect their honor and uphold their dignity. The hour will come when all evil will be punished. Fear law and always speak the word that leads to right. Arduous is the quest of mankind's high and noble destiny, beyond the reach of other creatures. Let man but strive in faith and fulfill Allah's trust by the grace and mercy of Allah. Comment 190. Regarding Surah 34, ayat 1 through 30. Allah's mercy and power endureth forever. Man should understand and not resist Allah's revelation. Human wisdom and power, as given to David, were only for establishing righteousness. Human glory, like Solomon's, rested on slender foundations. Saba but enjoyed her fair and prosperous state as long as she obeyed the law of Allah, but perished for unrighteousness. Learn then that the mercy and power, wisdom and justice of Allah are beyond all comparison. Do right and prepare for the final day. Comment 191. Regarding ayat 31 through 54. Unfaith has no stable foundations to rest on. Misleaders and misled will all be responsible for their deeds. True values are not to be judged by seeming good of this life. True good will come to its own in the end, however derided and scorned in the period of trial. Revelation and the mission of the men of Allah will stand every test. Allah's truth will endure, while falsehood will perish, and its votaries find the door of repentance closed in the end. Comment 192. Regarding Surah 35, ayat 1 through 26. Allah is the source of all things. All power, wisdom, beauty, and truth flow from Him. It is evil that deceives and plots in the dark. All knowledge is with Allah. The things that are good and pure and true are not as the things that are evil, deceitful, and false. Allah is free of all needs. It is we that need Him. Let us seek His love and live His message will save us from wrong, while dark is the fate of those who reject Him. Praise and glory to Him, the cherisher of all. Comment 193 regarding ayat 27 through 45. Man can see by his own experience what infinite shades and grades of color there are in nature. So are there grades in the spiritual world. The good and the true understand Allah, who knows and watches over all His creatures. The good will reach eternal bliss, while the evil will find no helper. Arrogance and plotting will be the undoing of evil. Its doom is sure. If it fails to profit, by the respite granted by the all-merciful Allah. Comment 194 regarding Surah 36, ayat 1 through 32. The wisdom of revelation, the Quran received through the Prophet, is a guide to the straight path and a warning against the terrible state in which the yokes of sin enslave us. The righteous receive it with joy, for they believe in the hereafter. Behold, there was once a city to which came 2 righteous men with the gospel of truth, but they were rejected and persecuted. They were joined by a third, but the city refused to believe or to turn from iniquity. Only one man was found on its outskirts to bear witness to truth, faith, and righteousness, and he did suffer martyrdom. He attained peace, but mourned for his people, and that they shut the gates of salvation and Allah's mercy on themselves. Alas, for man's short-sighted folly in defying the grace that would shield and deliver him. Comment 195 regarding ayat 33 through 50. Are there not signs enough around you to bear witness to Allah and His saving grace? The earth dies and revives. There are mysteries of life and sex, of light and the stars, and planets in heaven that follow their orbits by law and in harmony. There are the ships and the modes of transport, by which man can conquer the forces around him with God-given gifts, learn the law of goodness from them, and believe in the hereafter. It will come when least expected. Be prepared for a law. Comment 196 regarding ayat 51 through 83. When the day comes, men will be taken aback. The judgment seat will be established. Blessed will be those who attain salvation. Their joy, satisfaction, and peace will be crowned with nearness to their Lord. Alas for the sinful, who deliberately followed evil. Their own nature and actions will speak against them, and they will face the realities of punishment. Both revelation and nature are eloquent in instructing man for his own good in the hereafter, which will come as a certainty. Praise and glory to Allah. Comment 197 regarding ayat 1 through 74 of Surah 37. Allah is one, the source and center of all affairs, and we must work in discipline, harmony, and unity to put down evil. The hereafter is sure, when personal responsibility will be enforced. For the true and sincere servants of Allah, there will be the highest bliss, unmixed and everlasting. For those who defy Allah's law, there will be the deepest enduring misery, which will men choose. Comment 198. Stomach's really rumbling today. Regarding ayat 75 through 138. The prophets of Allah formed a series that worked in Allah's service to instruct their fellow men. In case of distress, Allah helped and delivered them. Men did flout and persecute them, but they carried out their mission with constancy, and Allah's purpose always won to the destruction of evil. So was it in the story of Noah and the flood, of Abraham, the true, of Ismail, ready for self-sacrifice, of Isaac the righteous, of Moses, and of Elias, and Lot, all men of faith who received the blessings of posterity and peace, and salutations from Allah most gracious. Comment 199 regarding ayat 139 through 182. So, it was also with Jonah. He had his trials, but Allah had mercy on him, and his mission was successful. How can men ascribe to Allah qualities and relations derogatory to his nature? High is he above all creatures. The ranks of angels and messengers stand firm in his service. Evil is sure to be overcome. So praise and glory to Allah, the Lord of honor and power, and peace to his messengers. Comment 200 regarding ayat 1 through 26 of Surah 38. Self-glory and separation, these are among the roots of evil, also envy and suspicion. Not all the combinations of evil can for a moment reverse Allah's purpose or his justice. David, endowed with worldly power and the virtues, had yet to purge himself of the thought of self-glory, which he did, and thus he became one of those nearest to Allah. Comment 201 regarding ayat 27 through 64. For just ends was the world created. Solomon, in the midst of his worldly power and glory, never forgot